Greater Bowie Chamber of Commerce presents the Bowie Business Journal, a program designed to keep our community informed about important business and economic issues.
Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Bowie Business Journal. I'm your host, David Emanuel, Executive Director with the Greater Bowie Chamber of Commerce. And with me in the studio today, couldn't be happier to have Cathy Martin from the Bowie Comfort Inn and Conference Center. Thank you so much for being here today, Cathy.
Thank you for having me.
And first, I wanted to start right off the bat. We'll go into the Chamber of Commerce. You've been with them for over 20 years now?
Yes.
That's fantastic. You are truly one of our most valued members. We're so psyched that you've been on board, and I'm really excited that you've been around for over 2 decades now. Can you talk a little bit about, first what attracted you to the Chamber, and then we're going to get into what you do at the Comfort Inn?
Well, as part of my job in the hotel industry, it's always beneficial to belong to chambers and associations and do networking as much as possible to meet people and build business. And the hotel was a member when I came on board, which was great because if it wasn't, I would have had them join. And so I was very pleased to attend the meetings and meet new people, and it's always been a very warm welcome for me with the Chamber.
Terrific. We thank you for that. And also, as an aside note already, I can officially say Cathy will be our new president next year with the Board of Directors. Starting in July is when that officially happens. So we're so excited about that as well, Cathy.
Thank you.
So going into the hotel industry, was that something that you were always interested in, or did you kind of fall into that? How did that happen? Give me a little bit of the Cathy history here with the hotel.
Well, I did fall into it. I went to college. I started off to get an associate's degree in education, elementary education. I had thought that I wanted to be an elementary school teacher. So as an elective, I took a tourism and travel class, which I was actually doing surprisingly well and getting A's and really enjoying myself traveling and researching hotels and hospitality and meeting people. And so at that time, I just met some people that were in the industry and asked them, could I have a job and see if I liked it and if I wanted to pursue that instead of teaching.
Fantastic, fantastic. So now, today, your title right now, you're Director of Sales and Catering. And what did you start, what was your first job then at the hotel?
I was a front desk clerk.
Terrific, terrific. So you have been dealing with and working with people and the public for years and years as well. What's one of the toughest things about what you do? I mean, I know we compare notes sometimes about it. There's so much of a juggling act in the jobs you have to do and balancing everything and the events that you're planning and that you're catering. What's the toughest part for you with that? Is it that just constant?
You have to wear a smile always, no matter what. And you have to be very organized and ready and
at all times.
At all times, because you never know what's going to happen the next minute. It's never the same. Although I've been there for 20 years in that hotel, it's a different day every day.
I bet. That's the same here with the Chamber. We've got great folks, as you know, but it's a different thing or something that you're working on or planning on every day, and you never know what's coming. What's coming down the pike. I looked online too. With Bowie Comfort Inn too. The hotel and you specifically too have gotten a lot of praise. The staff there always ranked very high, very nice, everything's convenient there. You have a lot of amenities, but they constantly are praising, just that hometown feeling again, and just how comfortable they feel at the Comfort Inn. So perfect name for the hotel. What do you attribute that to, Cathy? Obviously, you guys get ranked very high, and you see sometimes on some things on Yelp or things like that, there's some negative reviews and things, but a lot of stuff very high for you.
A lot of our employees are long-term employees, and that is due to our owners and the management of the hotel. Everyone there loves their job and takes pride in it, and we just love making it happen. It's a family.
That's key. The family and the fact that they've been there, the longevity there. Yes. That's excellent. One of the things too I want to talk about, because Cathy knows me too, how I love to eat, but we won't go into that. Lots of events, and all these events have great meals, and we have great catering and a lot of great restaurants that are members of the Chamber. But I sneak over to the Comfort Inn sometimes, eat at that great little buffet, which is something you don't see in a lot of hotels. It's so good, and they're it's all home cooked, which
Yes,
is
it
amazing
is.
for a buffet and
Yes.
from scratch. We've had dinners and events there, but talk a little bit about that. You just don't see that.
Well, okay, to start with, we have 186 guest rooms, and anyone that stays in the hotel gets a free, full, hot, complimentary breakfast that's served from 6:30 to 9:30 daily. And then Monday through Friday, we have a lunch buffet that's a very reasonable price. And it's a salad bar and 3 entrees, vegetable starch, soup, and of course dessert, and that includes your beverage as well. And it's served from 11 until 2 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Right.
And then we serve dinner. That's Monday through Saturday, and we also have a full-service lounge. And then, of course, we have banquet space.
Right. How many halls do you have? It's
have-
like Whitehall, Patuxent. I was trying to remember the
We
names.
have
but
5 sections. They're 50 by 30. They can open up and they can break down. They can actually break down into 6 sections. But depending on what you're doing, we can accommodate up to 450 people. Maybe 600 if it's a standing type of an event, but depending on what you're planning.
Do you find a lot, like through the years, that the planning there or the events that you have there are, in other words, are there more tourists that come there? Is there a lot more business? Is it a combination of both? What
It's
would
a
you
combination, and it all depends on the time of the year.
Okay. So
know.
give an example of that. What would you say is your busiest, for
Our
example?
busiest is probably, like July, we're really busy with family reunions. In October, we're busy. We have a boat show, the horse show. We do a lot of Annapolis overflow. I mean, as you know, here in Bowie, we're convenient to Baltimore,
That's right.
Annapolis, and Washington, D.C.
And you are one of the only ones in Bowie that have these facilities that
full-service
you were talking about,
facilities, yes.
before. And you talk about, you've had reunions, you've had boat shows, you've had a little bit of everything. Are there ones that you enjoy personally or that are always fun? Probably the family reunions
Well,
sometimes.
I enjoy the family reunions. I love to meet, it's a lot of our local people,
Sure.
and I get to meet their families from all over the place, and as well as the high school reunions. It's a
So
lot of
that's
fun.
right, the high school.
We have a lot of fun events, and that's what makes the job so much fun.
That's great.
You know, wedding receptions, award banquets, all, you know,
That's amazing.
mostly happy occasions.
And the fact that they keep coming back, that's
Yes.
obviously testament
Yes.
to you. How can you give a little bit of an example of like what a typical event, how it runs for you, like what you're doing, like doing the juggling act? Like take, for example, one of your biggest events. How does that work exactly? Because people don't probably get, they just say, hey, Stales and Catering, big deal. She helps sets up the plate. It's
It's so much more than that. I mean, for a wedding, for example, which is probably the most stressful day and the most important day in
Right.
someone's life, you know, I will have to coordinate everything for them. I'm the one that's there for them before they arrive, making sure all their details are set up as they would like them to be. And that process, I mean, once I meet the couple and set up their menu and what color linens they would like and how they would like the floor plan set up, and we do a tasting, and I do all of those details, and that's about maybe 6 months prior to an
Wow.
event. Then we build up to their agenda for the day, and I'm there that day,
Right.
hours before, setting up, making sure the vendors, like the DJ, is there.
Right.
And making sure my staff is prepared with all the details, what time dinner service is, what time
Right.
champagne toast is, cake service.
So it's not just obviously the
Oh,
office
no.
hours. You are there at every one of
Oh,
these
yeah.
events
I work
on
a
the
lot of
weekends or
weekends.
whatever. That's what I was going to say.
A lot of weekends.
Do you get more joy watching, like when you're at the event itself at a wedding party and you kind of get to stand back? Does that
love
moment
that.
come, or is it at the end and you get to talk a little? That's got to be the best part of it.
I take pride in it. I love it. I love to watch good things happen, and they always turn out. You know, people get nervous, and of course, but
Right.
it always turns out beautiful.
That's excellent. That's
know.
excellent. And do the people come to you, Cathy, to talk a little bit about that? Like you provide anything from, say, the napkin color, for example. People probably don't understand that. You pick for them, or they come with their
No,
ideas? Do you
pick.
suggest? How does that work?
They come with their ideas, and they pick from what we have, what they would
Okay.
like that's going to work for their event.
That's great. And so you've had, going back, I just think that's fascinating. You set up, did you say a horse show once?
No, we don't do
Or-
the horse
okay,
show.
I was
but
gonna
we
say,
get-
wow,
We do
that's
hotel
one big
rooms
room.
for the horse show that's
Okay.
overflow, you know, because the equestrian center is
Right,
not far.
right.
you know.
That's
and so-
terrific, though. Terrific. And just like you said, what I like about it, anytime I'm going over there, you know, because you're one of our check signers too, and things like that, or for meetings and things over there, there's always, it seems, some event either that just happened, stuff's getting torn down, or they're setting the food up. You know, I try to sneak in and grab an hors d'oeuvre here and there, but it's just not classy, so I don't do that. But it's just constant,
We have
like you
something
say.
going on
It's
all
an
the time.
amazing,
There's always something.
It's an amazing thing. How many staff then do you have with sales and catering, and with, say, the cooks, the servers? How many really do make it happen?
I mean, it varies, and we have a lot of part-timers, because it depends on the events and when the events are. I mean, in my staff, there's 2 of us in the sales office, but then we have support from the front desk and the managers, you know, all the way down to the accounting department. We have, you know, it just trickles down. Everybody jumps in where they can.
That's the best. Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. And I noticed too, last time when I was in the office, you know, you had some really nice thank you letters specifically to you. Were there any personal events or moments that really made you feel good, like when you got some feedback from some people through the years, or any specifics?
No, I mean, that happens a lot.
That's great.
Because I have a lot of fun with the people that I meet and that I work for.
That's what, yeah, that will keep you going. And going back now to a little bit with the chamber, the involvement there for 20 years, and talking about what you do as a director of sales and catering obviously comes into play with what you do at the chamber. There's so many mixers, there's lots of events. Talk about how they kind of balance each other out, like your job as sales and catering director versus what you do with the chamber, how it's almost one and the same sometimes.
And I feel that I can be an asset to that when I do help with planning the fashion show and with the other events that we've had and the awards banquet, because of the experience I have at the hotel. You know, from what I've learned, I can help make things work, and you know,
definitely, and
volunteer and.
That's excellent. It definitely helps me in the first year on the job as well. We've got a great team of folks that really are pulling together. That really helps. Can you again talk about the importance of supporting events, supporting the community, supporting the business world?
It's very important to support and attend our events that we have, and it's beneficial because you meet a lot of good people. And it's up to you to make that development happen.
Right, and the networking
opportunities. It's very warm with our chamber.
That's right, that's right. And Cathy yourself once said too, and I agree with that, it is the fun chamber. We have a lot of fun events there. And you know, folks I know like Cathy, make it a fun place to be. And one of the things we will shamelessly plug right now, of course, is what's coming up next Thursday, which everybody's been working hard to accomplish and to make it as great as possible, is the Taste of Bowie and the fashion show. You've been a part of that too ever since they've done it. Is that right?
Well,
Pretty
no,
much,
not ever since. I started on, volunteering for it probably about 5 years ago.
Okay.
Helping out with that.
Okay, and this is the eighth one, and it is Thursday at Boswell Hall from like 5:30 to 9. And it is going to be
a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
The food's good. We have a lot of fun with our fashion show.
Some great, and a lot of our local restaurants that are members of the chamber. Again, it's just all about the visibility, getting that out there, and getting the people to support and to understand that it really does work both ways. The businesses helping businesses, their networking opportunities, and it's everybody working together, and the community sees that. That's one of the things I bring up too on a lot of these shows, is the fact that Bowie is thriving with businesses. It's great to see when we get new members. For someone like you, and working at the Comfort Inn for 20 years, and for the hotel industry there, and that hotel to be booming, there's something to be said for the fact that business is booming in Bowie. What do you attribute that to, again, that the businesses, they're doing pretty well?
Here we are in Bowie. We do the best that we can, and everybody here, at least everyone with the chamber, we all help each other out.
Right.
I've gotten quite a bit of business from the chamber, from the people that I network with.
Right.
And in turn, I help them out as well.
Exactly. The mixers, the networking events, the constant opportunities there. It really is something where I like to say that the people are, it's truly that what is the phrase? You scratch your back, I'll scratch yours, but it's it's more than that. Everybody is there to really support each other. There's no competition, so to speak, when you have like there's different hotels, as you know, in the chamber. There's different banks and things like that. But it's a lot of really working together to make the chamber strong and to make the community and the businesses that are represented in the chamber stronger. Two, we have, talking about the businesses again, another big one coming up that I know is going to be hosted as a breakfast is the Business Awards, and that is Wednesday, May 13th at 7:30 in the morning at the Bowie Comfort Inn, where we're honoring some of our local businesses that were nominated through people and through the community, and some of the businesses themselves nominated them. Again, to host something like that's got to be
that's an honor to have that opportunity to host that.
And for you to be in the hotel where you're working and to be a part of the chamber and soon to be president, it's got to be surreal a little bit with what's coming up.
I'm very proud to have that event at our hotel.
And Comfort Inn too has won. Haven't they? They've won or been recognized on a couple of awards, I believe.
Yes, we have in years past. Yes.
That's excellent. And the Comfort Inn too itself. I like just going back. Comfort says it all at that place. And when you talk again about going back to the hotel industry, and you hear people when they're coming through Bowie, or you just see everything getting built up. Okay, you see something like when you come to that area, that part of 301, you see the Bay Sox Stadium, you see Comfort Inn, you see the businesses behind you.
Which you didn't see 20 years ago.
I was just going to say that. You're reading my mind, which is
Target
scary, which we do.
wasn't there. Bob Evans wasn't there.
Nothing.
The Bay Sox weren't there.
That's right. It was.
So I kind of feel like I grew up.
Exactly. I was just going to say. And when people sometimes say, uh-oh, business is booming can be scary, like people don't like to see the build-up sometimes, it's working great here. I mean, do you think that's safe to say with what you've seen coming up around you? Like it's sort of helped?
Well, we want it, of course that's helped.
Right.
We need more business. We need it to get better.
That's exactly right. See, I was thinking it's great. It's
never good enough.
It's never good enough. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. What do you feel too, we've talked about that a little bit earlier, but keeps you all strong at the Comfort Inn too? What you are just involved in so much, and the Comfort Inn reaches out to the community and the community events. A lot of it too that people might not understand is you yourself reaching out, and then the people that come to you for some of these events keep coming back and reach out. So talk again about how important that is for what you do, and then the word of mouth that's out there.
And word of mouth is very important. If I make you happy, and then you're talking to somebody that's planning a wedding reception or planning a meeting, and you'll say, "Oh, call Cathy Martin; she'll help you."
That's right. That's right.
And I love that. That's what I do.
That's right. And the beauty of that is, when you hear your name, or you've recommended other people for certain things when they're looking, that's one of the greatest things about a longtime chamber member and someone who loves what she's doing in the hotel business. It always comes back to you.
Yes.
The goodness will always come back. Other events I wanted to talk about too coming up. We've talked about the fashion show. We've talked about the business awards, and then we've got the golf tournament that's coming up. That's Friday, May 8th at the at Glendale Golf Club, and that supports the chamber as well as New Horizons, which is a great organization, and they are a member of the chamber as well, and they work with disabled children, and we have disabled young adults, and they're a wonderful, wonderful organization. We couldn't be more pleased to have them on board with us as well. I was recently at a ribbon cutting ceremony with them, and again, it's the community outreach that that just does it, and it makes you feel good when your name comes up and when your name is recommended for any networking opportunity or anything like that. And Cathy, too, I would ask you too, going back to you've been. You said 20 years in that hotel?
In that hotel, I've been there for 20 years. Previously 12 years in other hotels around the Washington area.
At how many did you say? And how many other hotels?
Many.
That's
in the hotel industry, it used to be, you in the sales, you move around quite often. I found my niche and I found my family.
That's great. And I wanted to ask that too, without, of course, not naming any of the other hotels. But what are some things again that you would say? Because it's important of how you run a good business, and that's what you guys do over there at Comfort Inn. What have you seen from, say, some of the other hotels you either worked in, or I'm sure when you travel, you're very picky with what you're seeing in the hotel. What are some things that either stick out to you maybe across the board that some just don't do right and they don't even realize it. Can you talk about that a little bit, like something you see?
I mean, a lot of it is the customer service, the way you talk to people, the way you smile, or you have to go out of your way. You need to say hi, good morning, how are you?
And some are just...
Some don't even do that,
And it starts right there. If the people aren't friendly, obviously the
Right.
service isn't going to be
And
there.
I look for cleanliness
And that's something else that you can...
and good food. That's
Exactly. I agree with that. But cleanliness too. No matter where anybody travels, you will see dirty motels or just things that I totally agree with you on. The little things that aren't necessarily picky. It's what should be right. It's what should be a given in the hotel industry. And also, when you talked earlier about how you're into travel and tourism, you've traveled to Italy. You go to Italy,
I've been to Italy. I've been to France. I've been to Canada. I've been all over the United States. I love to travel.
That's excellent. That's excellent. And anything different over there that strikes you with say the hotel industry overseas, or anything that's...
Well, I mean, in some ways they're behind us, and in some ways they're ahead of us.
That's
it's like electronically. I mean, you over in Italy, you go into a hotel and the lights don't come on, and the air conditioning and heat doesn't come on until you put the key in the wall. That's something that's now happening over here.
Right.
But it's been going on over there for years.
Because those electronic keys sometimes can drive you...
Yeah, but to put it in the wall, I mean, and if you don't understand that, you're like, why is it so hot in this room? Why aren't there any lights in this room? I mean, the first time I went to Italy about 10 years ago, I went into a public bathroom, and the lights don't come on until it senses that you're in the room. Now that's just now happening.
Now it's just that's just going on here. Are there things too in 20 years that you've seen change, say just in your hotel or in the hotel that you're really
recycling? There's so much, the new light bulbs. There's so much going on every day. There's something new.
Excellent. And you guys always try to stay
well. We
ahead
have
of the game.
standards that we have to abide by through Choice Hotels, and so we're constantly.
You're kind of under an umbrella, so to speak, of what
Choice
you've
Hotels.
got.
We're a franchise of Choice Hotels.
Okay. All right. So you are parts of all of the Comfort Inn chain around. Okay. Excellent.
But we're a franchise.
But you're the franchise. Okay. Excellent. And when I didn't ask you to official Comfort Inn opened when here? That's a question on the spot, right?
Years ago.
So it was like
it was a Holiday Inn. It was always owned by the same family.
That's right. Okay, that's right. It was Holiday Inn back in the in the early 90s, early 90s, I guess, 1990s.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. And Cathy too, as we get close already, half hour goes very quickly on this show. Anything I didn't really ask you about that you're particularly proud of, or something you want to mention, either about the hotel, about your job, about the chamber, anything and everything?
Well, one thing about the chamber we need to bring up is the Women in Business scholarships.
There you go.
That we have coming up. And when is the
application deadline? Is May 1st. That might be extended, but right now we're looking at Friday, May 1st. And a lot of the proceeds, the majority of the proceeds from the Taste of Bowie coming up, go right to those wonderful scholarships. So that's another great thing that the chamber works for and provides for, are the Women in Business scholarships, as well as Youth Leadership Bowie. That comes up May 1st is also the deadline for applications, and we'd love to see more apply for that, and all that information is on our website. But I think that's a great point Cathy brings up as well, is how the chamber isn't just about the businesses. It's that community outreach and helping the schools, helping some struggling people, helping some struggling businesses as well.
Exactly.
She's mentioned it. The networking and the visibility are two of the greatest things that happen when you come to these events, and it's sometimes simply the exchange of a business card. Like you said, you've met people, and people join. Want to say, "Where's Cathy?" or "Hey," or they call you. Can you talk like recently at a couple of the mixers? We've seen it happen. For example, when we had. Every month we do have a mixer at a different location, one of our businesses that are members of the chamber. But Cathy's one too who observes like I do, and you stand back and just watch the interchange and the network. Can you talk again about?
Sure. Like we have a lot of fun at those events. We meet a lot of people, and we don't like to let anybody stand in a corner or be alone. We want them all to be part of us. So we all go out of our way to make sure that everybody feels comfortable and is having a good time and getting the most that they can out of our event.
Exactly. And it's that combination of what can we do for you, but what can you do for
us?
us at the Chamber? And we don't like people sitting on the sidelines. We love them to
Exactly.
get involved, and we see a lot of that, especially with some of our new members recently.
Participation is key.
It's key. It's key. And when people say, we didn't know that's going on or what's going on, come to an event. That's right. And that's what we say.
Don't be shy.
That's right. That's right. Don't be shy at all. Plenty of events coming up. And now looking at the list down here as well, again, we talked, golf tournament, Taste of Bowie, the business awards, and of course we have Bowie Fest coming up. That's coming in with a lot of people getting some of the booths for that huge event, the Home and Health Expo. That is Saturday, June 6th. That information is also on our website as well. And those are some of our main ones coming up. So there's that, and there's plenty of committees you can join. We can't stress that enough. This is kind of becoming like a spring plug for the Chamber, which is kind of neat. But Cathy, again, anything else you want to say about it?
If there's anything I can do to help anyone with setting aside a room block or a wedding reception or a banquet of any type, family reunion, bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah, I'm always available, so please feel free to contact me.
And there's plenty to eat there as well. Excellent. Well, Cathy, it has been a pleasure. It's great working with you since I've been on board. I look forward to seeing you as president of the Chamber of Commerce. And we also have the installation of officers is June 17th at the Bowie Comfort Inn as well. So that's going to be fantastic. And on Cathy's home turf as she gets inducted and having a meal there. So this is going to be a great day. So we're really looking forward to that. So again, Cathy, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
And we will see you next time on the Bowie Business Journal. Thanks for being with us, and have a great spring.